Okay, so you know when you go away someplace and you come back and it's like you feel like nothing got done? Well, actually nothing did get done, not a hell of a lot anyway. And you're slightly aggravated, and then you go to the field with a truck and something happens and the friggin' thing don't work. It won't start. You jump start the damn thing and it dies on you about a quarter of the mile down the road. Well, that's what I dealt with when I got back the next day. So it took me about an hour and a half to get this truck, my maroon F-250 Ford, home from the field yesterday because the alternator was bad. Now, Tim knew the alternator was bad, and that's okay. I mean, it happens. So there's a couple ways you can go with these things, and I had him take it out yesterday. You know, no big deal. He took it out, and he could put it back in when he gets back, but I'm going to do it because I'm going to do it. But anyway, there's two routes you can go. You can get a brandy spanking new one, or you could get a remanufactured one. So I'm pretty certain that this one is a brandy spanking new one because of the price. At least it should be a brandy spanking new one. But I don't know. I'll have to look at the slip. Now, I didn't get it from Ford. I actually got it from Napa. Never any parts available. And let's see what it is. It is a 6,000 RPM one. And that's what it is. 110 amp, 12 volt. Plant 307. I don't know where that is. It's probably remanufactured in good old Mexico. I don't know though. But there's the speculafications of it. And there it is. Let me see if I can get that all in the sunlight. Yeah, there it is. 31018. So it is new, or newly rebuilt. It says it passes, so that's good. It's you know, it's not too bad to put a remanufactured one in a truck that you're not relying on every single day of your life. This is pretty much the farm truck. I don't need a brand new truck to do stuff at the farm like some people we know. And you know, it's okay. It's got the 5.4 liter Triton motor, 3-valve motor, and I think it's a 3-valve. This might just be the 2-valve. I don't know. 2-valve motor, an intake and an exhaust. It's not a 3-valve. Anyway, I like this truck. It's been a good truck. Honestly, there hasn't been any major problems with it. Ball joints years ago, and tires, which I have brand new ones in the shop right now. This is only the second set of tires that I've ran on it in 50,000 or so miles. So I can't complain. You know, when you put heavy stuff in, they wear out. These tires are beyond shot. There goes Timothy again. So I guess with that being said, I better just shut the hell up and stick this thing in here, even though I wasn't the one that took it out. Tim was, and you can watch me repair it or replace it without any prior knowledge or experience in taking it off. All right, here we go. Let's see if we maybe do that. Alright, so here's what I've got. This thing is very simple to put in. It's got two slots. So there's the slotted pig right there. If you don't know what a slotted pig is, you don't save money. But there it is. It was that simple to just set it in there. Now what I'll do is I'm going to tighten those up. They look like they're a 10 millimeter. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, anymore these manufacturers want to get away from the standard size. Like we can use a 3/8. Let's see if 3/8 works. And of course, no, it is not a 3/8. It just so happens that it is the 10 millimeter. I'm sure of it. So here's the 10 millimeter, and of course, yes, it does. It fits. That's 1/4 inch. Timothy has his 1/4 inch socket set here that he got, I think, at Walmart. Stanley. I have a set of these too. These are awesome tools. And that's it. It's like this. It's like the Ronco grill, my friends. You set it and forget it. If you know what I'm talking about. This is kind of difficult to do with. And the sun is bright, but it's kind of difficult to do one-handed. Oops, did you see that? It actually slipped across the other way. Anyway, I probably should have. He doesn't have the battery disconnected, the pain in the ass. You know what happens when you don't disconnect the battery? You get sparkety sparks. Which is something that I don't really care to have. And so these things will bottom out, which is fine by me. Okay, we're good there. 10 millimeter. And didn't I just say I was gonna spark that damn thing? Fucker. Excuse my language, I guess. That kind of pissed me off. I could probably disconnect that battery right now, but guess what? I'm gonna live life on the dangerous side. You wanna pull back your nice little... Oh, come on already. There it is. And what'd I do? You know, I just set that damn nut there and it went flying. Where do you suppose it went? Where do you suppose that damn thing went? Right down to the ground. I'm feeling slightly retarded today. Alright, let me go look for that. Oh, the joy. Doggone. Okay, so after an intense search for the thing, I found it hiding behind the overflow right down in there. So I gotta figure out how. I'm gonna go get a pair of needle nose pliers, maybe, possibly. Oh, wait, there it is. It just flipped down behind this hose, damn thing. Anyway, let's get it on there before I have too much trouble. So simple. And yet, so difficult. I'm thinking it's going to be a 10 millimeter shorty. I don't know. Yeah, it is. You see, the problem with that is it's not going to be easy to get it. I'm going to have to get a regular 10 millimeter wrench to do that. Oh, shoot. Alright, let me go get a 10 millimeter wrench. He doesn't have one out here. Okay, so I've gotten my 10 millimeter ratcheting wrench or gear wrench, which I'm not going to use the ratcheting part. Oh, I should have just unplugged that. Always unplug these things. And you know what's really stupid about this? They don't make them 10 millimeter. It's like 8 or something. So anyway, just be careful. I probably just ruined the damn alternator. Of course, half the people out, all my trolls are going to be like, oh my god, you ruined the alternator. Well, I hope not. I could have. Never know. And it's hard to do this one-handed, so... And that's that for that. Put the little rubber thing over there, so that is to prevent further arcing. I would give Timothy hell for that, but I'm not going to, because I did the same thing. Alright, so here we go. We've got this little guard here. That's all it does, is just kind of sits over the top. We know where this goes, because it goes right down there. God darn it. You know what? And they don't fall where you want them to. They fall right the... Never mind. Okay, for anybody that has never done a YouTube video and laughed at that and says, oh, you idiot, you drop everything. It's very difficult to hold a camera and do this correctly, just so you know. But whatever. It's okay, because that was easy to find. One bit of advice is don't tighten up this little guard here until you've got everything started as far as these bolts go. Yeah, you want to start everything. They are 10 millimeter. Use a deep socket on the back one there. And see this little guy here? That is actually a holder or a keeper. I'm hoping that that thing goes on the way it's supposed to. So yeah, there we go. See that? This is the easiest thing to do, but when you're doing it one-handed, it's not so easy. And we'll just be able to, hopefully this battery has enough charge in it to start the truck, because if not, then I gotta jump it. Which could be a pain in the ass anyway. There's all kinds of little tools, fancy ones. They call them, thumb tighten ratchets and stuff. Well, you can do that with a long, deep socket by hand if you want. You don't need anything fancy. You could just reach down like this and do that. When I was in school, I had a teacher, Mr. Jabor was his name. He was a shop teacher, and I had a little story about him. He was a nice guy and all, but he took credit for things that he didn't do. And you want to annoy a student, someone who's learning every day, All right, I'm going to put this down here and we'll see what happens. If you want to annoy a student that's learning every day to do this job, that he's supposed to be teaching, I'll tell you what. Oh, God, this is not the right thing to do, Mr. Tim. I'm going to have to go for something different than that. Is when a student, i.e. me, fix something that the damn teacher couldn't get fixed, and then hoops and hollers, I fixed it. Hold on. I fixed it. That doesn't set too well with the guy that actually fixed it, i.e. me. So Mr. Jabor, I don't know if he's still alive or not, but Mr. Jabor, we were working on a Tecumseh engine, or Tecumseh, as some people will call them, but we were working on a Tecumseh engine, and the engine belonged to another student. Hold on a second here. The engine belonged to another student, Michael McIntyre. Oh, Mikey McIntyre. And he just couldn't get it to run. Well, it was the dumbest thing. They're pulling their guts out, Well, the points were not gapped correctly. They looked like they were, but they weren't. And it was like an optical illusion, I swear. But you could see the points, oh, come on. You could see the points moving in there, but they just weren't opening quite enough. I don't know whether there was excessive wear. It doesn't really matter. But I had done work on these. Oh my God, what the fajitas, man. Am I going the wrong way with this? Oh, I am. So, no wonder that thing. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Tim. Now I know why. I thought he had to bang that off with a hammer or something, but he didn't. Okay, so here we go. Okay. They weren't quite right. And I had done a lot of work with my Uncle Irv on small engines and things. And my Uncle Irv was a brilliant man. He could fix anything. He was a master tinkerer, I swear. He's dead now. Died a few years back, 2011. I don't know if I mentioned it much or not, but anyhow, he had told me that sometimes you just got to really go over everything, and I'm not saying that this teacher was not good at what he did. It's just he wasn't as thorough as you would think a teacher should be, because they had been messing with that thing for several classes. It wasn't like it was it wasn't like it was just one class that they struggled with it. It was over the course of several days, and they could not get it to, they just couldn't get that engine to run. I went and I looked at it and I said, well, did you set the gap? And oh yeah, we set the gap. Well, I don't think they set the gap. I think that, I think you get sloppy. You get sloppy with time, I guess, when you're used to doing these things, and you overlook the small things. And so he had walked over to the teacher had walked over to wherever the hell it was, and I took a hacksaw blade, and I gapped it with a hacksaw blade, because that's how I was taught. It was a hacksaw blade. and it was really wide, you know. So for some reason that Tecumseh engine needed a really wide gap. So I gapped it, put it back together again, and bada bing, bada boom, he goes over and pulls it once, and that's when he started hooting and hollering, I fixed it, woohoo, you know, as if he did something, you know. But anyways, it sounds like it got battery. So let's see if it starts. I don't think it's going to. Nope, battery is dead. So let me pull Tim's car up here a little bit and jump start. See what happens. Okay. Is the battery light on? No battery light? Good. Alright. I have a leaky exhaust. You hear that leaking exhaust? Yeah. Take these tools. This is a metric wrench. It has to go in the no, it goes, well, it's all unrolled over there. So what I'll do, now that I've got Tim's car running here, I'm going to put that away. What I'll do with that truck is I'm going to pull it over to the shop. I'm going to pull it over to the shop and I'll put the battery charger on it. Because if you don't, you will actually burn up the alternator. The brand new alternator that you have on there, it will burn it right up within a half an hour. They're only designed to maintain the battery. They're not designed to charge the battery. Just so y'all know. So I'm just gonna kind of close, oh you bastard, close that down a bit and I'll see you later. So, charge it up. It won't take but a half an hour, I guess, to get a good charge on this battery. Use that guy there. It is, actually, that battery's not too bad. Nice. I can really crank it up. Put some heat to her. You don't really want to do that. You can run it at 15 amps, it'll be fine. Anyway, on to other things.